Hey guys, welcome to the 716 Sports Entertainment Podcast, Monday Night Raw from February the 9th, 2026, the year of our TKO. And it's a pretty action-packed show, a lot to talk about. And guys probably aren't going to believe this, but I don't have anything to put in the bad on this show today at all. I think everything surprisingly makes the good on this show. Only six real major points to talk about, but still, overall, solid show. So we're gonna break it all down for you, as always. I am Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill. And Sean, how did you like 2/9/26 Raw?
I enjoyed it. I think that the fact that they are rolling with the Bron Breaker injury and just moving on to other people of the division now feuding with Adam Pearce. I'm real curious to see where they go with that with Bron off TV. Um, I think that the fact that we're going to get another Finn Balor and Punk match is awesome. And just like, I mean, I did mention it. I was hoping we'd get it at Elimination Chamber. Looks like we're going to do that. The Judgment Day story is looking like it's going to move along. I mean, I don't know if everything was good, but I can tell you, in my opinion, I definitely don't think there was anything ugly on this show.
No, absolutely not. So let's start with, again, as we did with the other show, the two Elimination Chamber matches. So we had first Rhea Ripley defeating Lyra and Ivy Nile to earn her spot in the Elimination Chamber. And while I kind of wanted Lyra to win, Rhea wasn't losing this match. I mean, I
No.
suppose you could have had them in like another tag team match, but we've talked about this a couple of times on this show. They're going to drop those belts to the Bellas at WrestleMania. I think that's how it's going to be. Rhea is really only in this just because she's a big star. I don't foresee. I mean, she's definitely not going to win it, right? Because probably more of a Raw star than she is a SmackDown star. But Rhea's certainly not going to be winning this because I think the idea to put Rhea and Jade together is about zero right now. So I do not foresee them doing that at this time. Maybe down the road a little bit, but right now probably no. So Rhea winning, in my opinion, makes sense. And the match was solid. I got a lot of respect for Ivy Nile. Like we don't see her on very often. She mostly comes across as a jobber, but she's very solid in the ring, and so is Lyra. I really like Lyra a lot, and I kind of wanted her to win, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I know we had talked about it during the match, like going into it, and you were pulling for Lyra. And honestly, I would have been fine with Lyra winning as well. I think that it would give us an interesting little wrinkle for the Elimination Chamber there. But since this is for Jade's title, I don't know who they're going to put in there who is even like believable other than Tiffany.
I was just
Like,
gonna say
my
Tiffany's it.
only other thought
Tiffany's the answer.
is that unless WWE is going to do a massive course correction over the fact that the SmackDown women's roster is not great, and that's why they put Rhea there, that's about the only thing I can think of is that they do it to try to fix the fact that they've more or less painted themselves into a corner. You know what I mean? The only other thing I can think of is that in the Elimination Chamber, maybe EO gets into it as well, and something happens between all of them. So it'll be interesting to see because, like you said, with them most likely dropping the titles to the Bellas at Mania, I don't know that they're going to have would have her pull double duty.
No, I don't think so. And yeah, I mean, and as far as the match goes, like the match was fine, a little sloppy at times, but I just think given the circumstances, this was the expected and probably the right result.
Yeah, there were definitely a couple miscues. I wouldn't quite call them botches, but when you have two smaller women in Ivy Nile and Lyra going up against like 6'8" Rhea Ripley, it's gonna be a little bit awkward trying to do anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will give Ivy Nile credit for her ring work, but something about her just doesn't make her like believable to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's just the way that they've treated her throughout her run so far, or
Mm.
the fact that she kind of looks like an oversized midget. But I think
That's
that
mean.
it's just
That's mean.
I don't mean it in like an insulting way. I just something about her looks awkward in the ring. Like I just it's hard to put a thumb on.
Mm, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about this match. It's like I said, it's the right result. It adds star power to the Elimination Chamber, and Rhea is always a believable person who can win these kinds of matches. So I'm okay with it. I still right now am of the mind that Tiffany is the favorite to win. But we will certainly see as we get to add more folks to this match. The other match, which was set up throughout the show, was LA Knight against Penta and Austin Theory. Obviously, LA Knight did pick up the win after there was a ton of interference in this match, which, the Vision was told by Adam Pearce because we're still continuing that saga, but I think it's kind of wrapping itself up now that Bron Breaker is out of there for the time being. But the Vision were told to not interfere by Adam Pearce. They still obviously did interfere, to which the masked man made his appearance again and was chased off by Logan Paul and Bronson Reed. And Austin Theory was obviously in the ring for the match. So it is not any one of those guys. We're still being led to believe that it's Seth Rollins, but I am really of the opinion it's Grayson Waller.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's he's the right body type for it. And honestly, you can tell a story with him like with Austin Theory too. The
Yep.
fact that they were
See
in a
him.
tag team and you want a perfect person for Seth to recruit. I feel like he's a great option. The
Yeah, I
the
mean,
match
yeah.
itself, um, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with LA Knight because I don't know if you saw or heard, but after the match, he actually addressed the crowd and
Mm,
sort of talked about how he doesn't know what's going to happen going forward, but now that he's in Elimination Chamber, he all he knows is that he's aiming to be that champion. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with Mr. Knight, and I'm a little disappointed that Penta's not going to be in the chamber. I'm kind of hoping that he may um, earn his way in through like last chance kind of bracket. But
mm.
I think that's a missed opportunity not having him in there. But LA Knights is a pretty good choice as well.
Yeah, I mean, LA Knight's just of these three guys, LA Knight is just the biggest star by default. So I think when you look at all of these matches, I just think that's kind of how they're going to do it right now. Although I don't want to speak for the Cody Jacob Sammy match, but I do feel like Cody's probably going to win that unless Drew gets involved somehow. I am kind of the mind that Cody's probably going to win that. Cody's going to be on that show somehow. And I don't think they're going to do a Cody versus Drew match at that show. So, I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll just put the belt back on Cody before WrestleMania.
I don't know that I like that. I mean, the talk is that Drew is penciled in to be the champ going into Mania, but I think it would be a mistake to put the belt back on Cody. I think in just completely. I don't think Cody right now needs to be the champion again. I think until you add some more depth to Cody's character, I don't think at this point he needs to be with that belt. I honestly still am of the opinion it's going to be a multi-man match, and I think anybody but Drew or Cody is going to leave with the belt.
I don't know. I don't know. They made a big point of showing that WrestleMania poker game thing, and Cody's right there, and so is Brock. I mean, Brock's obviously a different story, right? But the other two guys, Roman and Punk, they're in a title match, and I don't see any universe where Cody is not in a title match, which leads me to believe that Cody is very likely going to enter this elimination chamber and probably win this elimination chamber.
I still think that something is going to happen, and we're still gonna find our way to it. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody wins the chamber, but I still think we're gonna get multiple people in this match because you need something for these guys to do as well. I mean, unless you're gonna somehow turn this into Oh, well, it was actually Sammy that attacked Fatu backstage and then have them turn it into a random feud between the two of them. But both Fatu and Sammy are going to need something to do going into Mania as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but also, if we take a look back through WrestleMania cards, there's a lot of guys that just don't get on the card. There's a lot of guys that just don't end up on the card. I mean, we can go up and down the roster and I can rattle off 10 names and I would bet eight of them aren't even going to be on the card. And they're all probably people that you think maybe should be on the card,
You're
but
not.
I mean, is LA Knight going to make the card? I don't know. Is all of the members of the Vision going to make the card? I don't know. Is I mean, there's going to be an El Grande Americano versus original El Grande Americano match, which we'll talk about in a second. But is Javon Evans going to make the card? I don't know. Are the Usos going to make the card? I don't know. Maybe. So there's a lot of guys like who you think they should be on the card. But is Lyra going to make the card? I don't know. You know, Bailey and Lyra, are they going to be on WrestleMania? I don't know. Should all of these people be on WrestleMania? Probably. Will Penta and Ray Phoenix? Ray Phoenix probably won't be on there. Will Penta be on there? Maybe. You know. So there's a lot of guys you can just rattle off, and it's like, yeah, all of these guys need something to do, and it's probably called the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You know what I mean? Like seriously, I'll bet you $50 right now. Rusev and Aleister Black are going to be in that match.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I heard
so
something was going on with
so
Rusev,
is
but
so is Shinsuke too. I bet.
in to counterpoint your point, though, as far as what I meant, I think you're 100% right. There are definitely a ton of people who deserve to be on there. But I think when you're talking about people who are directly involved with storylines that are involved with the main titles, I feel like that puts them in a different position. You know what I mean? Because they're already involved in those top of the card storylines. So I
Hmm.
think that gives them a little bit more of an advantage versus your Javon Evans or your Rusevs or your Aleister Blacks, guys who deserve to be on there, yes, but aren't currently involved in something that is looking like it's going to be mania worthy.
That's fair. I guess I just kind of wanted to point out really more along the lines of like there are a lot of guys and gals who deserve to be on the
Okay.
WrestleMania card, and just either due to lack of space or due to lack of well done booking, I don't think they're going to make it. Like, and Julia's another one. I bet you the U.S. women's title won't be defended at that show. Maybe on the SmackDown before. And I don't even know if the men's U.S. title will be defended at that show, truthfully. You know what I mean? It wasn't last, neither one of them was last year, so I don't know. I have no idea. So
So,
it's something, something to throw out there. But I mean, even if in a perfect world, you just assume every title is going to be defended at WrestleMania, that's four singles top titles, four mid card titles, and three tag team titles. That's 11 of your 15 or 16 matches right there, or maybe even 14, because I think they only do seven a night. So that's 11 of your 14 matches right there, if assuming every title is defended, which probably won't happen. So we'll comfortably say nine of the 11 titles will be defended at WrestleMania, right? So I need you to make five more matches then. You know what I mean? Make five more matches. Like, and where like how are we gonna get there? We could still hell, dude, we could still find our way to say Cody wins. Say Cody doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, but it's Cody and Drew at Elimination Chamber. Because remember last year, right? And I'm really going off the wall here on a tangent, but remember last year was when Cena turned heel at
yeah,
Elimination Chamber. That was the big deal, right? What if Cody beats Drew at Elimination Chamber and the men's chamber match is last and Randy Orton wins.
That would be cool.
You know what I mean? What if that happens?
And just have
Then
a
I mean,
complete left turn out of nowhere.
yep. And
Like,
I mean, you're not telling me Cody and Randy Orton wouldn't be a huge match for WrestleMania, you know?
yeah.
And I know that we're like trying to get that one forever, but I mean, that could absolutely happen, you know? Everyone says that next year's main event is going to be Punk and Cody. Like that's what's penciled in now for next year. So, but I don't know. I mean, next year's in Saudi Arabia, so Dwayne could come back for that one.
Who who won the Money at the Bank for the men last year?
Stop.
Um, okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about Seth because he cashed in at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Back to my last point that I wanted to make about the WrestleMania card. It's the one reason why I hate that they took the Andre the Giant Battle Royale off the WrestleMania card itself is because I think as many people deserve a portion of that WrestleMania payday as they can get on there. And that's why I wasn't always a big fan of the Andre the Giant Battle Royale because it's goofy as shit, but it lets you get all of those people on the card and lets them
Mhm.
get a chunk of that payday because that's a huge payday for a lot of these guys. And the fact that they took that off of there, or the fact that was it last year they did that crazy ladder match the night before Mania for the tag belts, like that
Which
kind of
was
stuff.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, those guys that partake in those kind of matches deserve to be on the Mania card. And
That
if
was,
that
yeah, yeah.
if that means sacrificing the men's US title to avoid that, so be it. But I think that as many multi-person matches as you can fit on the card is what I like.
Yeah. And I mean, we know, right? Like there are two non-title matches that are basically all but accounted for. We know that let's get into one of them right now. We had the original El Grande Americano and Javon Evans who defeat Los Americanos on this show, which is good. I'm glad that Master Gable is back now, and it's incredibly likely that it's going to be original versus current a Grande Americano at WrestleMania, right? Like that is
Yep.
it might be a mask versus mask match at WrestleMania. It probably will be, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be fantastic. And like I don't want to put this into the bad because I said I didn't really have anything bad for the show. And I think it was actually fine. I mean, the match was spectacular. Javon
Yep.
Evans is unbelievable, unbelievable to watch. Javon Evans, the way he can fly through the air, and the way the one America, I forget if it was Ryo or the other one, but he did that crazy like RKO thing, springboard RKO thing that he does, and it was like all the way across the ring. Like it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Like it was unbelievable the athleticism in that kid. Um, but that is absolutely the direction we're going. To have those two guys compete 100%. So I mean, that's immediately one of your non-title matches right there, and I think it's going to be fun. Like I
Oh yeah.
think Kaiser and Gable can go. They're great, and I think it's going to be awesome.
They are two of the best technical wrestlers in the WWE, and both of them have found a way to make the El Grande character their own.
Yeah,
Like when Gable first started doing it, it was the fact that he was this character that actually didn't understand the lucha libre tradition and all that, and he was hated for it. But then Kaiser takes it over, and they're literally chanting his name in AAA. Like
yeah,
Mexico loves Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande. Like
yeah,
original El Grande showed up in AAA and got booed out of the building. And it's the opposite way around in the US. It's absolutely hysterical to see
yeah,
Kaiser get booed and Gable get cheered. And
yeah.
I think that that match has the opportunity, especially if it's a mask versus mask match, to steal the show.
Oh, 100%, 100%. So yeah, and I thought, I mean, just I know I've complained about this in the past, but like they finally took the opportunity to move this story forward, which is
Yep.
what it desperately needed. So I think this was great. And we pretty much kind of have almost have another WrestleMania match kind of ready to go here. And while and I wanted to get back to that point a little bit because I did want to talk about that because I wanted to make that point. But also, while we only have really one confirmed WrestleMania match, we really don't. We have like seven WrestleMania match more we like more or less, right? We have like seven WrestleMania matches because of what we talked about earlier. Probably going to be Seth and Braun, right?
Yeah.
That's another non-title match. And then we had another on this show, another vignette for Opafemi as well, right? Probably going to get him and Brock or Gunther and Brock or him, Gunther and Brock, right? You
Sign
know,
me up.
the three of them in a big meaty men slab and meat match. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of meat.
Actually, that's probably the way to go, right? To get all three of those dudes in a match. I like that a lot actually because you need something. Gunther's definitely going to make the show. Of all of the guys who deserve it, I don't think Gunther's going to be in a title match, but he 100% deserves to make the show. So if we aren't doing Gunther versus Brock, we're going to do Gunther Oba Brock in some fashion.
My only problem with that is who do you have win?
Oba pins Brock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could 100% get behind that because I feel like it would be a huge mistake for them not to have all three of those guys on Mania.
Mm, yep. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean that's so we've already pretty much booked three non-title matches, right? And we really only needed to get to five.
Yeah,
Potentially, if every title is defended, we're done, you know. But and then honestly, we'll probably have some kind of 3-on-3 match, I think, with the Vision as well. And that this is how you do something with LA Knight. You have the Vision against LA Knight, Penta, and
right.
Ray, or somebody else, right? Somebody else that they've been just fighting all of the time. Probably Ray, but something like that. You could also do that as well because the Vision will probably be on there,
They
you
have to
know?
be. They're such a big part of the show now that it would be stupid for them not to be. And when I say Ray, I mean Ray Phoenix. I say you use WrestleMania as an opportunity for Penta to reach out for help. And you bring in and you have the Lucha Brothers unite to help back up LA Knight.
Yeah, that'd be a great match. It would be a great match, Super easy booking right there because it's already a few that's going on. So there you go, you know. Easy peasy. And that was what was so good about this show was everything kind of pointed to WrestleMania, right? Like even the beginning of the show when we had the Usos and more or less their squash match over Alpha Academy. I mean, it was fine. Otis and Kazawa put on a good showing, but you knew the Usos were never going to lose this match. But at the end of it, the Usos were being interviewed in the match, and they're probably going to put Jay in the Elimination Chamber, but whatever. But the bottom line is, it was more of like a what's next for the Usos. I was kind of expecting somebody to come out and challenge them,
So was I.
truthfully. Like I was expecting another bigger tag team to come out and challenge them. And I think that's a missed opportunity right there. But yeah, the Usos are 100% going to be the tag team champions going into Mania. And are we just going to do Usos New Day 7, 8, you know?
I hope. I hope. I really hope not. I hope somebody gets either a call up or something because that just Usos New Day at Mania again would be a mistake.
Yeah. And then yeah, so and then we had all the stuff with CM Punk as well, right? Like CM Punk was scheduled to be interviewed by Michael Cole in the ring, to which Finn Balor came down to the ring, attempted to interrupt, called out Punk, said, no, I deserve the title shot, said he's get sick and tired of being an afterthought after he was in a backstage segment with Dom a little bit earlier where Dom played the part. Actually, I want to give Dom a lot of credit before we talk about what Punk did, because Dom actually played that very well because there was a lot of, oh, we're kind of like, we're kind of burying everything else, right? Because we've got this Roman and CM Punk match, and we're throwing Finn Balor away, and the other title's not relevant because Roman went for that title and all of this stuff, right? And Dom really made it a big point to be like, yeah, no one's even talking about you anymore, almost like, throwing some shade. And then, it got Finn kind of motivated to go out there and do what he did, which I really, really liked a lot. It was very good character work by Dom to do that. And we'll talk about Dom in a second, where we think we're going to go with him for WrestleMania. But this obviously brought out CM Punk. And ultimately, after, some more Adam Pearce nonsense, a match was made for Elimination Chamber.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that Adam Pearce is going to end up having a stroke before WrestleMania. Like the, I mean, everything he said was 100% made sense because, like, as the general manager, it's the same thing he said to Heyman in back when they confronted him about Breaker. Nobody wants him and people there healthy and going strong for these things than him as the GM. He needs his show to succeed. So telling Punk, why should we put the main event of WrestleMania in jeopardy because Finn Balor is having a crisis of the mental variety? But I really liked the way Punk interacted with Pierce there, and the way he told him that either you make the match official or I'm just going to chase him down and keep beating his ass until you do.
Yeah.
Because as champion, it was kind of a Roman Reigns thing to pull. That he pulled the "I'm the champion" card, and
Mm-hmm.
I deserve the right to make some decisions because that's 100% something Reigns would have done.
And we've seen Cody do that.
Yeah,
So yeah, 100%. And, this will be great. And depending on how this goes, we might even see Roman Reigns show up as well at the after
yeah.
this match is over with and beat him down. I would expect they're going to try and make this a relatively big show, but there was no doubt in my mind CM Punk was not going to not appear on this show, right? It's in Chicago.
Yep.
Like zero chance CM Punk was not going to appear on the show. Hence why we saw AJ Lee at the beginning of this as well, right?
He's not gonna lose
And that
again.
was yeah, and that was another one that was great. Becky came out again and just was going like completely like nutso, which was awesome to see. Like she was like it seemed like she was just like slowly having like a nervous breakdown, like as she was just descending into madness. And obviously AJ Lee came out and a match was made for the women's IC title, which will probably end in a DQ of some kind at Elimination Chamber because this is very likely going to be on the WrestleMania card between these two women. But again, awesome stuff all around, and it even played into the match with Maxine and Natty, which AJ came out to chase to chase Natty away, to which Becky came out and slammed her face into the turnstile there. So maybe maybe we don't even do that match at Elimination Chamber, and instead we do a tag team match. We do Maxine and AJ Lee versus Natty and Becky.
And you just build up to the title match being at Mania.
Yeah, yeah. Or you do a fatal four way between these four women for that title.
Yeah, I could see that at
Because that
Mania.
because you can then you can kind of hide AJ's
Ring rust.
you know yeah ineffectiveness a little bit, I guess.
The the other part I liked about the Becky segment was that it actually started before she even got to the ring. When
Mm-hmm.
when Punk and AJ were just walking backstage and she was walking behind him and didn't realize that it was AJ at first, and then like
She's
lost
like
her mind when she
doing
realized it
them.
was her.
She
Fantastic
was
segment
straight
though.
doing them. It was great.
She Becky is doing a great job of this unhinged character, and it actually almost made AJ break character, which was funny. And the fact that AJ Lee hasn't lost a step as far as the promos go is frankly incredible to me after 10 years
Mhm.
of not being in the ring.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed with her. I mean, she's definitely still got it as far as the promo work goes, but I mean, that's kind of no surprise. Look at who her husband is. I mean, CM Punk is one of the best in the business on the microphone. Always has been, and always will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this show was fantastic. And I know we were kind of all over the place with this review, but I think the whole point of that was that everything kind of ties into WrestleMania. So I think the point that, has been floated around by, the AEW payroll over at Wrestling Observer newsletter, that people are concerned that there's no WrestleMania card. Watch this show. Everything points to something that is very likely going to happen at WrestleMania. If you just take two steps back and look at it a little bit holistically. Yeah, maybe we're fantasy booking a little bit, but a lot of it is like obvious. The Americano thing, that's gonna 100% happen at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you mean to tell me like, the tag team titles are going to be defended at WrestleMania? AJ and Becky isn't somehow not going to be on the WrestleMania card? Like, there's so many of these spots. The masked attacker likely being Seth Rollins. We're pretending it's Seth Rollins and Bron Breaker because we kept talking about Bron Breaker and Paul Heyman, right? About he's going to come back. So you've got a ton of WrestleMania stuff being set up, which was the whole purpose of this, which is going to be the whole purpose of all of the shows for the next. How many weeks do we got? 9 weeks until WrestleMania is here. 8 weeks until
8 or
WrestleMania is
9.
here. You know what I mean? So yeah, percent. And and the elephant in the room about our WrestleMania prediction. When is Chris Jericho going to show up? And will it be to challenge Dom?
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think I think that's the perfect spot for Jericho to come in. And because Dom did make sure to reference that he was told that he's going to have to defend his Intercontinental title, even though he is AAA Mega Champ as well. And I think hearing the Y2J countdown hit at Mania and that be who challenges Dom would be fantastic.
I mean,
And
it's a great spot for it. Great spot for it.
and God forbid that doesn't happen. I honestly could get behind a Jericho and LA Knight thing too.
Hmm. You would probably have to set that up before Mania, but I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe LA Knight comes out after after he loses the chamber, right? Comes out and just like loses his mind and is looking for like does the same thing Rollins did a couple of years ago, right? And it's just like, look,
Looking for a match.
I'm gonna be on this WrestleMania card, and then Jericho shows up, however, to like to answer the call, right? And it doesn't hurt LA Knight at all to take a loss.
Yeah.
So I think that would be fantastic. And I really think that Jericho is going to show up. If Jericho doesn't show up by WrestleMania, he's not coming.
No, he's going to retire then.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I think he has to show up by WrestleMania or he's not coming at all. So that was Raw, and I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good episode of Raw. I really enjoyed it a lot. But what was your thoughts and final rating for the show?
Like you said, fantastic show. I'm hoping that every week of the lead up to Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania on both shows, this and SmackDown, are as good as this one was. I think the only thing keeping this from getting 7 stars was that it wasn't at the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, excellent show. And if you really just take a step back and look at it, you set up a ton of stuff for WrestleMania. And I would say with that, my final rating for the show is even Sports Illustrated says I'm the best wrestler out of five.
Not just her.
Not just her. So that is our show, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below about what you thought of Monday Night Raw. We do read and respond to all of your comments, and we've been seeing a lot of them, a big uptick on the comments lately. And we really do appreciate it, guys. It really gives us a lot more stuff to talk about and kind of has been the reason why we've been sort of changing up the format on these shows a little bit, kind of going into some more fantasy booking stuff. And I know some of you guys do want us to talk about the matches a little bit more, and we will certainly, we'll certainly do that as well. But the fantasy booking seems to be real popular with everybody, so we're definitely going to talk a lot more about that and kind of predict things out because that for me that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that part of the show the most. So with
Yeah.
that, I have been Mike, joined by Mr. Sean O'Neill. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care.